Hello, folks, and welcome back. Sorry about that little bit delay. I'm your friendly neighborhood shoutcaster, Shargan. We have got a hyped-up match, don't you think? We got Trickle-Down Economics versus Art of War.
Baby. I mean, one of the funniest things to me about Art of War is that they came in absolutely swinging. We all, in qualifiers, were looking at this team and thought to ourselves, hey, this team is definitely not something we trifled with. They might not have gotten out of their pool 4-0 or something crazy like that, but still something you have to keep in mind at all times. And here they are sitting 0-3.
Very close 0-3s, though.
They have all been close. Don't get me wrong.
They have been bangers. They have been tough fights. They have not gone down without swinging and getting some really good haymakers in. So now it's just a matter of seeing if they can get the knockdown on Trickle-Down Economics.
Yeah, I mean, once you do get that knockdown, it's a matter of keeping your opponents down, and Trickle-Down Economics are masters of getting back up and getting back into things. And the immediate Jinx pickup, we have talked about this time and time again, and it is always getting through.
We did see the Zeri, and we do see the Aphelios ban the Aphelios pickup like you mentioned. So that is going to probably be really interesting. We're going to be seeing that coming through here shortly. And just like that, locked in, already got our bot lanes kind of situated.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the Aphelios Nautilus actually going to be picked up. This is, I hope that's not a Nautilus lock-in, because there is pretty much no doubt in my mind you should be taking Thresh here. But Nautilus going to be taken as a deterrent to a Thresh pickup. But I don't know. Thresh Jinx is so safe.
It is an exceptionally safe lane. It is also a matter of how comfortable do you feel on a Thresh pickup, and I'm not sure where Bob Joseph sits, although we have seen them do absolutely cracked things. They probably are going to go for something a little bit more spicy. I feel like that they just want to kind of go in and just showboat a little bit. So the Nautilus is a good choice for anything that might want to try to do a hard engage. A set pickup here is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's going to be on Zen or Bob Joseph, because we haven't seen set support for a hot minute, but that is technically a flex pick.
Oh, okay. This is a very interesting pickup from Art of War Esports. Now, because it is the Victor mid coming out from Trickle-Down Economics, there is basically no way for them to have kill pressure in the mid lane. So the immediate response with the Soraka mid, potentially a Soraka top. I doubt you're going to be taking Soraka top into what could be a set top, but a potential Soraka mid as a pickup here. And, you're not going to be able to kill the Soraka. It is very difficult for you to actually, pressure the Soraka with a jungle gank, because she just silences your mid laner. And if you're not playing some kind of jungler that does both the gap closing, the CC, and the damage, then you're not going to be able to get the kill. I love this pickup from Art of War Esports. It is very rare, but also genuinely such a good choice here.
It is very important to confuse your opponents whenever you're trying to go into that fog of war. So I do like the fact that they've picked a kind of unconventional comp on the side of Art of War Esports, and we do see the Blitzcrank ban, so that does make me think that they believe that this set is going top, so they're probably going to be picking accordingly. And then we have the Volibear and the Trundle removed. Very strong bans from Trickle-Down Economics. You're basically taking off two very powerful hard engagers off the board, and two very strong frontliners at that.
Yeah, I mean, the Volibear and the Trundle here honestly seem very pointed bans, because Hecarim is already on the board. They are literally just trying to force the Hecarim pick or a Xin Zhao pick, something along those lines. But Volibear and Trundle, both very tough for Lilia to deal with. And if you are running a single tank composition, Trundle is definitely not something you want to have on the board. So with a Scion picked up, Zen's classic, we do have Bob Joseph taking that set straight into the bot lane. A beautiful answer into the Nautilus. And Minwoo, okay, I was about to say, picking up the... Oh, wait, hold on.
This is a very interesting comp on the side of Art of War Esports. I'm not entirely sure exactly where everybody's going. I'm thinking it's Nautilus top and Ahri mid with the Soraka Aphelios in the bot lane. Like, that's kind of the most probable what we're seeing there. And it does look like we're going to be getting either a Scion or a set support coming out from the side of Trickle-Down Economics, because you can really swap either of those into either lane.
You can. I'm basically 100% certain that is set support. But my first thought, honestly, is, that's obviously an Ahri mid. There's no doubt about that. This could be the Soraka top, could be the Nautilus jungle Hecarim top, could be the Soraka support. It's a question of where you're going to be slotting this one in. But I actually really like the idea of a Soraka top into Sion.
It could be interesting.
So it is the Soraka top into Sion. We are going to have the barrier. We're not going to be having the teleport from the Soraka here. And Zen with the Ghost pickup on the Sion. This is super interesting all across the board. But one of the biggest things here, right, is that Soraka will be able to survive into Sion. That is not a question. She will be able to wave clear. She will be able to survive. She will likely not be dying anytime soon. Even with the Lilia coming in, you just place down a silence field, you walk away.
Yeah.
But how in the world do you deal with it if Zenzen builds a Hullbreaker?
That is going to be the question. A Hullbreaker and a Thornmail on the side of Zenzen basically means that Soraka can't heal herself up. And it's just going to end up being really, really interesting. And he's going to have a huge amount of wave push. I'm not entirely sure how this lane's going to go. I have no idea how this matchup looks. The one on the bot lane, I'm much more comfortable talking about because Jinx set is going to be really, really fun. We're going to be seeing Bob Joseph advertising all of his engages, though. So that is going to mean Oriri should be able to just defend his ADC when necessary. But it's going to be kind of interesting to see which one ends up pulling ahead first.
Yeah, I mean, what I will say, right, is that as the resident connoisseur of very weird top lane matchups, Soraka versus Sion should honestly be relatively even early on, but Bob Joseph going in
we're getting a huge fight going on the bot lane. Viona's being brought really low.
Yeah, and just like that, Bob Joseph with the immediate flash, like 2 minutes in, already burned the flash, already burned the ignite, and already burning through a lot of the health pots from Vionas, just establishing dominance in this lane. That the one respite that Aphelios has against Jinx is, you get smashed in the mid game, you get smashed in the late game, but you absolutely can smash Jinx during the laning phase.
Yeah, and I do think we're going to probably be seeing the Hullbreaker coming out. We've already got the minion dematerializer visible right there on Sion. So that probably means he's going to be pushing that lane as hard as he possibly can, just focusing on his split push, which I don't know if Art of War actually has a response to unless they send 3 or 4 members to stop him.
Yeah, there really isn't an answer to that. But one thing about Zenzen is that there have been multiple times where we see Zenzen in a position that Hullbreaker turns the Sion pick into one of the most ridiculously powerful picks in the game, and he'll just opt for your standard, I'm going to go, Thimblewinter, I'm going to go, your standard Sunfire items, but not going to opt into the Hullbreaker, so I would love to see Zenzen make that adaptation here.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. I do like the amount of damage Vionas is able to get from this Aphelios. Onto Ultravox, we do see that he's burned through all of his pots, and we already see an engage coming out from Lilia. Poor Oriri's already caught out, having to flash away to avoid getting caught by the Chompers. Bob Joseph looking for that hard engage. He is able to get the W off and hit Vionas with the center shot, and that is a nice chunk of damage, but unfortunately, it's just going to result in the flash out of Nautilus.
Yeah, just gonna take Oriri's flash down for size, and no Hex Flash on this Nautilus means that is going to stick and sting for a hot minute. But Bob Joseph once again
got a nice stun as Oriri gets pulled in by the face breaker, losing a lot of damage. Oriri trying to find hook, isn't quite able to. He's brought exceptionally low though. Ultravox looking to finally get that takedown, doesn't manage to actually get the nice last shot off. We do see Lilia coming and getting first blood as he leaves, takes him down. Ultravox staying alive, having to flash away to stay alive. Vionas getting taken out as well, and that is going to be a kill for Set and a kill for Lilia.
Oh my lord, no kills on the Jinx, but no kills needed when you take out both of the enemy bot lane. You're going to be able to shove this wave in, you're going to be able to get some tower plates, and you're going to be able to be as accelerated as you want to be. You're going to be getting excited, not just for that moment, but for this entire game, because the moment Jinx gets out of this lane, she is going to be a menace to deal with.
Absolutely. And with those 2 assists, a nice 10 CS gold lead, they don't really need to get a plate in order to get this Jinx that much farther ahead. And that is going to put a poor Aphelios in a very tricky spot, as he's going to have to come back to a very powerful Jinx when they return to lane.
Yeah, I mean, on the other side of the map, though, Zen going to be suffering up a little bit here. You know, this is about what you anticipate from the Soraka top lane, taking a little
look
bit
at
of
the
damage.
catch on that charm.
Ooh. Yeah, you know, just gonna be able to nab you right in the little pinky toe, but that will hurt nonetheless. Either way, Mizusa gonna be looking to continue to farm up, actually sitting on an 8 CS lead, even as Ariri does come mid lane.
And we do see Mizusa right now. I'm looking forward to seeing whether this Victor ends up being a problem later on in the game, because there's going to be so many choke points that Art of War is going to have to walk through, because the only TP they have available is going to be on the Ahri, that if Victor's able to drop a nice ultimate down, there's nowhere for Art of War to go if they're caught out in the jungle.
All right, and Zen looking for a trade here.
Look at that, already getting a nice bit of damage back and forth. Not quite able to pick up a kill, although look at this. Bob Joseph getting speedy right now as he does manage to try and find a facebreaker. Isn't quite able to. He's going to get really, really low with that, but huge haymaker comes out, and he's going to get taken down as Crimes comes into the lane. They're going to be chasing down this bot lane. We already see him trying to get away, and a poor old Ultravox is going to get taken down in revenge, and that is going to be Vionas, much healthier this time around as he survives. And in the top lane right now, looks like we got a huge fight going on between Zenzen and Slowbro. Slowbro is getting really low, but look at that. This is what Soraka does. They just heal right up if they hit you with 1 Q.
Yeah, you're going to be healing up and still sitting on the barrier, sitting tight. But, I mean, one of the things about that play there is that Bob Joseph honestly played it really, really well, but they all walked up a little bit too far, and Vionas sitting on the Gravitum means that they don't get to get away from Crims on this Hecarim, just speeding right in.
Yep, and that is great priority right now as they're able to look towards this Ocean Drake. I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna risk a Soul Drake prediction here. I'm thinking it's gonna be a Hex Tech.
I am going to go with Ocean, just cause.
You're gonna go with Ocean, which is the one we already see on the board.
Yes.
Do you? Okay, so you think it's gonna be an Ocean Soul? Copy that.
You know what? Fine.
I will take money on the Ocean Soul. No. I will bet against you on the Ocean Soul, my friend.
You know what? I am not a betting man. We are immediately pivoting to Mountain.
Pivoting to Mountain. Okay, so it's going to be a Hex Tech or a Mountain Drake. You heard it here, folks. Let's see if these predictions are able to start coming through. I do like how healthy Crimes Clear has been. They've been doing a really good job keeping themselves ahead of this Lilia, who has ganked twice already. Oh, look at that nice flash going in as Vionas gets caught out. A huge face breaker. And the Haymaker comes out as well. Vionas getting brought exceptionally low, but look, Crimes is already back in the lane, just doing his thing. Ultravox getting brought exceptionally low, and we see Vionas picking up a kill.
Oh my lord, Bob Joseph continues.
Look, hold on. Charm here in the mid lane, and it looks like Mizusa brought really low, and poor Minoa is able to just dash under turret and get that kill.
Yeah, and with another charge of Spirit Rush available, sitting so safely. Like, there's no shot that Leaves is able to get into that mid lane in order to punish the Ahri. Still has the flash available. And this should be a drag, and they are on their... 8 of you is on their way to what's looking like another hopeful potential victory.
It definitely is looking like it's going in the direction of Art of War. However, we have seen in a couple of their past games, they've gotten themselves ahead, they've done really well in the early game, and they're just end up losing something in the mid game, and it just doesn't work out. Look at this Slowbro getting brought pretty low, down to half health already. But with that, we know trickle-down economics likes to play for the long con. They like to play the late game. They like to plan things out. So this could be playing right into their hand.
Yeah, and one thing I love from Zenzen here is that a lot of these trades we are seeing Zenzen cancel the Q early, not going for the full knockup.
Ooh, and hold on. Knockup is right here. Huge fight coming out. We got the Dream Maker coming out, and Leaves is going to be able to put poor Soraka right to sleep.
Oh god, putting right to sleep with the fishes right over there. And Zenzen with the perfectly timed ultimate, just not giving away any hints of the gank. Just so happy to finally farm up that goat.
Oh, look at that. Mizusa just avoiding yet another crazy charge from Minwoo.
Yeah, I mean, Minwoo's charms have honestly been so on point in this game.
Like I call shenanigans on a few of them, in all honesty. Not gonna lie, it's that lollipop. I understand you shoot lower means it's gonna clip a little bit higher just because of the nature of the 2.5D that League of Legends has. But I still call shenanigans.
I don't know. I mean, you got the traditional Korean garb for the Ari on the skin. You got the Ari, you got the traditional Korean name playing the Ari. It's just the Korean mechanics,
It is our very own faker in the making, I guess, right now. Look at this. We've got Bob, Joseph, and Leaves both stepping up to this mid lane, looking for that engage. Hex Flash coming out. Bob Joseph trying to find an engage, is not quite able to get the face breaker out as Minwoo is able to dash away. Look, getting a little bit too spicy there, Minwoo, though. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, like, Spirit Rush is such a good tool, able to get a little bit more damage off, making great use of those. And one thing I love from Zen making another look towards that top lane, we do have that Hull Breaker being picked up here, and once that's finished, you're just going to get tower plates for days. And I love the way how Zen's been playing this matchup, because by canceling a lot of these Qs early, he's not getting that damage canceled out by Slowbro's silences. Like, Zen actually looks so comfortable in this matchup right now.
I'm not gonna lie, I miss the days of Banner of Command, building that, dropping it on a lane, and you just walk away, and it does its thing as it just shoves down. I miss that, but then again, I also miss the Ardent Sensor meta, so...
Okay, don't get me wrong. I actually miss the Ardent Sensor meta a lot, but oh god.
Oh, look at this nice engage coming out. It's Crimes coming in with the fear. That is going to be poor Crime Boss Man taken out of the game, and that is another kill. This bot lane has just been seeing some absolutely devastating fights for trickle-down economics.
Yeah, I mean, like, right now, Bob Joseph is absolutely going to be sitting at the top of the IPS leaderboard, because has been involved in so many kills across both teams right now. But either way,
what about poor Crimes? I mean, he's been doing so. That's like what, his third lane gank so far?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. Don't get me wrong. I'm just giving a bit of a shout out to our cat boys here.
Nice use of the silence right there by Soraka. We do see that Lilia is looking for this engage. However, it is a bait by Art of War. They were waiting for it. They're looking for this pincer. They're already trying to go in. Poor Oriri's going to get taken down, but it's not going to matter. The rest of the Art of War esports does arrive. Starts to strike, threading right through trickle-down economics, showing them why their economic policy is not the one you want to be following. Look at that. They already tried to get on a little bit of a target, but not quite able to find it, as we do see Art of War having to retreat as Mezuzah has returned. But look at that charm over the wall to hit Mezuzah. Nice job, Minwoo. Poor Bob Joseph getting brought really low. Vionis, though, not taking a lot of damage, but is going to get sliced by Leaves' Crescent Strike. And that is going to be a disengage from Art of War, not quite able to turn it up from more than just one kill. But that was really back and forth. In the meanwhile,
we have been giving a lot of props to.
This is still going. Look at this. Bob Joseph going in on Minwoo. Minwoo getting brought down as Mezuzah goes for the tower dive.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we've been giving a lot of props to Krems, to Bob Joseph for being proactive, but Leaves has been quietly sitting on 100% kill participation in this game.
That they have. They have been present for every single one of these fights, trying to make some kind of an impact, and they've been doing a fantastic job. Lilia is one of those champions that is able to get around the map just so easily. We're seeing horses in the jungle on both sides. Just by the way, two equines, and so moving around very, very quickly is kind of like their thing.
I mean, what is it with the centaurs and being a part of every single bloody fight? Like, both of these characters playing the helicopter horses, I don't know. We are just waiting for mid game to break open, and both of these players to take flight right into victory's waiting arms.
I think now, though, we do see that the Hullbreaker has come out for the side of Zen. He's going to just start wailing on this turret now. I don't think he's able to get 2 plates, essentially. There it goes. Almost able to get it. He didn't quite get the second, but that was gross.
That is the first Demolish proc we've seen with the Hullbreaker, and already looking so rough for Slowbro.
Yep, look at that. Nice slow on Slowbro, and he's going to get brought down. There's a huge amount of health bar that he has to fight his way through, and unfortunately, there's just no damage coming out from this Soraka, just doing tiny little tickles with those bananas.
Yeah, I mean, Zen doesn't look like he's you're in any capacity allergic to bananas, and there is no chance of death over here. But as Crimps once again sitting in the bot lane, just looking for so much on this Hecarim. Oh, okay.
Nice engage onto Slowbro with the point blank ulti coming out from Sion. He's able to take him down. That is going to be poor Slowbro getting brought exceptionally low. The silence to stop the knockup as Zenzen held onto it for just a little bit too long. Isn't quite able to finish him off and get that kill, so he's gonna have to back off a little bit, but that was really well done. Looks like we got a TP coming in the top lane as well, though. Ari coming to join this fight. Minwoo looking for that engage. He knew that the rest of the members of TDE were there, but look at that. We got the dive under the tower. We got the shot coming from across the map. It does manage to find Soraka. Nice explosion. They're brought really, really low, and unfortunately, this top tower doesn't look like it's gonna survive much longer. Once it's gone, there's nothing to stop TDE from pushing it in even farther.
Oh my lord, Zenzen one back with Hullbreaker, immediately breaking the game open, breaking the tower down, and just setting his team up for such a good position here. Still 100% kill participation on the Lilia, but now we've got Victor with yet another takedown on the board, accelerating this Victor to that late game god status that we know Mezusa can pilot with just terrifying efficiency.
Absolutely terrifying. And here's the thing that I'm starting to notice with TDE's comp is that now that they've cracked open this top lane, they've basically set themselves up for some Jinx to basically have already fallen behind, but they're going to have some easy avenues to come back into the game.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I mean, one of the big things, right, that y'all
nice
didn't hear
catch
me
on that charm right there. Minwoo able to get another one. That is going to be a dive out as Crimes uses the dash in order to avoid getting pulled in. And look at that huge amount of damage on Minwoo, though. That Victor ultimate is just ripping right through that health bar. And unfortunately, that is going to be the mid laners brought down by the opposing teams.
Yeah, I mean, that is both mid laners brought down, and that also does mean that Leeds finally misses out on a little bit of that kill participation, but Zenzen is hunting alone, returning back to the top kingdom, and there is no one who can stop him right now.
That there is not. We are looking at the Drakes coming out right now, and it does look like we're going to be getting an Infernal Soul. So that was both of us being wrong on that. Bob Joseph getting caught out right here, and unfortunately, there is very little they're able to do. They're holding on to that W for as long as possible, finally bring it out, but no one gets caught in the center part of that. So there's going to be no true damage. Bob Joseph getting brought down as well, and poor Jigs coming in to try and save their support is not able to and gets taken down for their troubles. Meantime, in the top lane.
Meanwhile, in top lane.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, we just have Zen doing Demolisher things.
Yeah, doing your standard hull breaking things gonna be just fine. Wait, oh my lord.
The damage they're doing to this Scion. Look how much health he is losing. It is absolutely insane how tiny it is.
Oh dear lord. I mean, like, you have, I don't know, that there's Merc Treads. There's a little bit of MR there, but that's 111 MR when you start to hunt alone, because that Hullbreaker, while it was a little bit nerfed for the ranged champions, for the non-ranged champions, dear god, this item's still disgusting.
I absolutely love it. It definitely gives me old Banner of Command vibes. The only difference is that I am the minion instead of the minion going and doing its own thing. So it's a little bit more empowering in some ways. I do like the use of priority, though. They're taking this Rift Herald down before the Baron comes up, so that means that they'll be able to have another huge push. Look at this in the mid lane. Nice hook by Oriri. They do manage to catch him out. That's going to be two silenced from the Soraka, but the Soraka is going to get stunned and locked in place as we see Leeds going in on the backline. Meantime, the rest of the fight shows up. Art of War trying to do a huge heal coming out as it does manage to barely save their team member, but it's not quite able to do enough. Mezusa brought exceptionally low, but is able to get out with just a sliver of their health. That is going to be the disengaged Jinx Rocket coming in, finding Minwoo, not able to take them down, and that is just going to be one member of Art of War taken down for that fight.
Oh my lord, I cannot believe that actually ended up with a 1-for-0, but either way, Bob Joseph sitting under this tower.
Bob Joseph flashing in with a huge face barrier, getting a nice bit of damage. They're going to get killed for their trouble, though, as unfortunately you do not take 4-on-1 as a set. Huge knockup coming out as the depth charge does manage to find Leaves, but they are going to go, not going to be able to be taken down because of how far back they are, and that is going to be the disengage coming from Art of War, trying to push their advantage as much as they can, and again, in the top lane.
Meanwhile, in top lane, once again, dear lord, like, the story never changes. There's still no one who can really do anything about this Scion, and now that Zenzen is joining the fight, this should be a completely free Infernal drag, as they had Crims as the response in the top lane. One thing I will note, right, is that I from what I understand, Bob Joseph was someone who came from like one of the players' WoW guilds on TDE. Are we sure that Bob Joseph isn't just secretly Leroy Jenkins in disguise?
You know, it might just be that's exactly who they are. Not quite able to get enough damage onto this turret to bring it down before the first Rift Herald charge, so unfortunately that's going to be it taken down after one turret. Not quite the best use out of Rift Herald, but very good to crack open this mid lane. In terms of dealing with this Scion, though, I just see him becoming that much more of a problem as this game continues. I don't
Meanwhile,
know.
in the bot lane.
Exactly. See, as I'm talking about Scion, I don't know who is actually able to stop them on the side of Art of War Esports other than like 4 members all at once.
Yeah, and the hardest thing about dealing with a split pushing Scion like this, if you don't have your side lane threats, is Scion sees 4 members of the enemy team get off the map. One person shows up, Scion ult away.
Bob Joseph looking for an engage.
Yeah, I mean, Bob Joseph, 4 deaths, 4 out of the 9 deaths on his team. Still looking for an engage.
Well, see, here's the thing. I love Trickle Down's comp because what they've got is they've got the Scion who's just not present for the team fights because he's doing Scion things. But all 4 members of TDE who are left have some way of just making your life hell whenever you want to fight them. Look at that. Hex Flash trying to get over the wall, not quite able to make it.
Wait, hold on. I don't know. I mean, I might be Asian, but I'm not necessarily the greatest with math, right? You know, I'm not a fan of calculus or anything like that. 4 + 4 + 2. That makes 10, right?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Never mind. As we are getting into things, and Bob Joseph once
right here, we
again,
got a nice engage. Crimes being brought onto the tower, having to ult away in order to stay alive and avoid taking too much damage from that turret shot. And that's basically going to be all she wrote right there. Just a engage that doesn't really go anywhere for AW as they have to respond to the Scion.
Yeah, I mean, oh my god. Zen once again in the top side, just this time back with a fully completed Sunfire Aegis. Dear god.
There's very little they can do to stop this Scion right now. Like he's basically just free to do whatever he wants at the moment. Look at this, taking some of the topside camps, trying to avoid that. He's walking away from Crimes, but it's more of a just I want to bait you so that Set can Hex Flash over the wall and kill you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Zen is playing this exactly how he needs to. Just it doesn't matter if he's hunting alone or not. He is hunting exactly how he needs to, and when he needs to, and where he needs to. Just sitting in the precise location.
And it's as we see this coming out, we do see the Lord Dominic's on the side of Aphelios, which is really smart. Huge flash coming out from Minwoo. Unfortunately, not able to find a target with the charm as they had to fire it blindly into vision. Minwoo being brought exceptionally low from the laser as Mizusa is just walking up right now. He's probably gets hit by the charm, brought back into the fight, so it's going to be a 3v1. And unfortunately, he cannot survive that, but he does manage to drop his ultimate, which is dealing a lot of damage to Aphelios, but is not quite able to take him down. And in the meantime, in the top lane, Scion doing Scion things. Huge chunk taken out of the inhibitor turret. It's already brought down nearly half health. Yeah, it's like once that Scion gets into a side lane, he's basically a whole team on his own.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Zen is not playing League of Legends. Zen is playing Farming Simulator. And everyone is just happens to be in his game.
It's like they're like the wolves he has to worry about. And it's like, they're coming to kill my sheep. Dag nabbit. Now I got to deal with them.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes Zen feels real frisky. He sends a Facebook request over to one of his friends, and the drone says, "Hey, you know, Leaves, come over here. Hey, Mizusa, come on down. We got another wolf or the picking over here." But either way, Scion once again going to be picking up even more tankiness. Not going to be looking for the Titanic Hydra just yet. Instead, looking for, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a force of nature from Scion.
If I were Zen, I wouldn't even worry about the Titanic Hydra. I just go Warmogs as the final item, because then you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to walk where I want to go. You can try to stop me. I've got such a huge health bar, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, I mean, Titanic's really just, hey, you know what helps me farm better? Being able to have AoE auto attacks, and
Yep.
oh my lord.
Nice knockout coming from Zenzen. Huge charm coming out as Bob Joseph brought in exceptionally close. Unfortunately, he's not able to find a good target. The rest of the team is there. He does have flash available. He's able to flash in. That is going to be a huge dive as he goes in with the showstopper. But unfortunately for AWE, the damage is on the side of TDE as we see the return on their investments.
Dear Lord, I mean, if anyone's gonna make me a believer in trickle-down economics, it is going to be Zenzen, because he is spreading that wealth across the entire team as Bob Joseph starts off with getting charmed up here. But Zenzen immediately afterwards says, hey, it's time, we're going in. Choo-choo right into the back line, and Zenzen walking up. You would think the Soraka's on TDE because Zenzen's taking no damage with a 3-man knockup. No chance for AWE to even begin to think of a counterattack.
That was a beautiful fight, and now we see them pivoting over to this Baron. That is going to be a huge pickup for TDE as their just capital gains returns just skyrocket across the map. And we see that Zenzen moving down to the Dragon, so that's going to be a second Drake picked up as well. That is going to just be really, really tough for poor AWE to deal with. Like, they're not able to get any of these bounties.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, right, during that fight, I'm pretty confident that Vinius had a fully completed Lord Dominic's Regards.
Yep.
Zenzen's health bar did not drop below 100%.
Nope, it did not. At this point, this is when you have to wonder where the percent health damage items are in the game, because you kind of need that to deal with a Scion. So just with how much health he's got at this point, I mean, he's 3-0-6, so he doesn't have full KP, but at the same time, you don't really need that when your jungler's got a 600 bounty on their head.
I mean, who needs full KP when you've taken 0 damage from the Lord Dominic's Regards of Felios with 0 armor items in your inventory?
You get a little bit of resistances from Force of Nature.
I mean, yes, not physical damage resistances. You have a little bit from the Sunfire Aegis, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but that is far from a dedicated armor item.
Very much so. Scion just building that health bar, making it as big and beefy as he possibly can. And now we see that, again, these Baron-empowered minions are just so hard for Magic dealers to deal with. So Ari not quite able to do it. We do see Crimes looking for an engage. He does try to get the ult off, isn't quite able to find it, but unfortunately for him, he's been separated from the rest of his team as he's now in the back line, while the rest of his team is trying to fight off this front line that just takes absolutely no damage. We do see Aphelios dropping the ultimate, but unfortunately it's not going to matter as the healing comes out from Soraka. It just doesn't matter. The health bar completely explodes. That is a double kill coming out from Cheeks. There's just so much damage coming out from TDE that it doesn't matter what healing. Look at that poor Slowbro
my lord,
getting taken down as well. And that is going to be the inhibitor turret going down. This is probably the final push to end the game.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the things that sometimes at this point, right, you see a Soraka top, you're like, hey, we got to get some healing reduction. Zenzen's only call right here is the healing reduction. Nah, I want just damage to just reduce every bit of
jumping right on him, and we're trying to take him out. Victor getting the laser shot as that is going to be the final ace going down before Hecarim's able to come back up. That is going to be game for trickle-down economics.
Yeah, any chance of winning completely reduced by Zenzen just picking up. Dear Lord, what a beautiful amount of play.
Yeah, he was just making his way downtown, walking fast, making his way through the crowd. It didn't really matter that. So it's like that was just Zenzen doing Zenzen things. Unfortunately for the rest of AWE, there was not much they could do with it. There was no response. So I think Scion is going to be one of those champions you've got to watch out for in future games.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough in terms of a, what do you call it, an MVP performance, because you look at Leaves. Leaves went 5-0-11, had nearly 100% kill participation through the entire game. But that game felt so heavily in Zenzen's hands that he just controlled it from start to finish. But either way, we are going to be moving to an interview with the winners, and I am so excited to see what they have to say.
That's exactly right. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hello folks, Chris Edgeworth here, and joined for our final interview tonight, I'm joined by Leaves, the jungler from Trickle Down Economics. How are you feeling after the win?
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, this was a 2-0 week for you folks, and I want to start off with the first game, actually, since we were not lucky enough to get you in for the interview yesterday. Man, talk to me about the Nunu gap, man. That was a fun time watching you roll around on that champion. What are your thoughts on Nunu? What were your thoughts on the game yesterday?
Well, I just think that Nunu in general is a pick that's really powerful, not only because you can gank so often with it, and it's really early, but also because it doesn't really have any losing matchups per se. So we can just pick it first and not be punished hardly at all for doing so.
Nice. Let's talk about today's draft then. We see you switching gears to a different style of AP jungler on the Lilia. We'll talk more about your philosophy on that in a second, but we did see the team overall shifting gears. Instead of seeing the Kled top lane, we got to see the Hullbreaker Scion into the very interesting Soraka matchup. What were your thoughts? What were your feelings with your solo lanes and playing around that dynamic?
Yeah, so going into this game, we had a very clear idea that we wanted to, mix things up a little bit. We don't want to be known for being the team that always does like the exact same thing over and over again. All of the people on our team have a pretty good variety of champion picks available, so we want to be able to show that off in these matches. So we went in tonight with the idea that we were going to pick the Lilia and have a usual support pick, and then we kind of just drafted around that core concept.
And just a little reading from chat, just doesn't hurt, but getting called out by your ADC that we are literally the Victor Jinx team, bruh. So shouts out to Ultra.
Well, I mean, they keep letting us pick it, and we keep winning with it.
Yo, I mean, that's the biggest facts right there. It's just like it's always right there. It's always gonna satisfy. It's always a dub. So why not? But interesting to see a different flavor of you folks on the Rift. And let's talk about so after this game, it got really messy at a certain point. Let's be real. So decisive win, something I think that you folks can hang your hat on. And I want to talk about your philosophy in this game because we have Tale of Two Cities this weekend. You got the AP jungle Nunu doing Nunu things, and then on the next day you got Lilia running around prancing on people, prancing on their graves, really. What are your thoughts on just philosophy around playing these types of tank junglers, utility focused play, and then having the opportunity to break out on a carry?
Well, I think that there's a lot of value in having a good variety of options in the jungle. You don't want to limit yourself to any one kind of character, or else it's going to be a lot more difficult for teams to not only build around you, but for you to accommodate other people's playstyles. So I try to have at least one of like every different kind of archetype within the role, so that I can go along with what my team wants to do and try to enable them to be successful too.
And it doesn't hurt when you have those flex picks and you perform on them. It's going to open up those ban slots for some of your teammates that might be a little bit more vulnerable, or open up some of the OP picks as we look forward to next patch, as we grasp hands together and pray for the swift arrival of the Zeri Aphelios Jinx nerfs to rain upon us. As we look forward to that. So that'll be interesting to see for trickle-down economics. Looking forward to next week. Thank you so much, Leaves, for this interview, and congratulations. Before we step away, though, any final thoughts to leave with us?
I would request that the next team we play against, please ban Shaco. Our support really wants to play it, and I don't want to see that. So, yeah, please ban Shaco.
All right, folks. A heartfelt plea, if anything, from a jungler that does not want to hear it, does not want to see it in their game. So, folks, that is going to be it for this interview. Thank you, Leaves, and congratulations to TDE. That's going to be it for our broadcast night this evening. We'll be back next Monday with our Week 3 for Heroic. So we look forward to seeing you at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. If you get a chance before then, make sure to check out the latest issue of the Friend or Foe Connect, and then look for it next week when it drops. Folks, we will see you on Monday. Everyone have a wonderful week and a wonderful night. See you later.
J'ai les paroles, j'ai la musique, ça fait un tout vraiment magnifique. Mais ma dulcinée m'ayant planté là, c'est à moi que chante tout ça.
Mr. Bam will stay behind, and he will perform one of the most popular piece of music in Asia, especially in Asian heritage.